Hi, friends. Happy Thursday. Hope everyone's week is going well. I had a post earlier this week about weight, and there was a comment underneath it that sparked the idea for this little Facebook Live. So I want to share with you guys tonight my top 3 tips if you are not seeing the scale move in the direction that you would like it to. First tip is stop focusing so much on the damn scale. So I believe that the scale is a useful tool. However, I believe that it is only one tool out of several that should be used when tracking progress. I don't think it should be the main focus or the only one. I think you have to look at everything to see a much more comprehensive picture, if that makes sense. So, hi, whoever hopped on. I liked it better when Facebook showed you who was watching your lives, so I could actually say hi to you, but I don't know who you are, so I'm sorry about that. Back to what I was saying. Are you taking pictures? Are you tracking your measurements? Are you tracking your body fat, your muscle mass, your fat mass, things like that? If you are not, then start immediately. And just a little side tip, I like to track those things in a consistent fashion. So I always use the same scale, right? If I was out of town, I'm not going to use a random scale because it's not calibrated the same way as mine. I'm not going to weigh myself one day in the morning and the next day at night because I weigh several pounds more after a full day of eating, you know what I mean? So same thing with taking pictures and measurements and things like that. I always like to do that stuff first thing in the morning and keep as much consistent as possible. So after I wake up, after I've used the restroom, no clothes on, before I've drank any water, that sort of thing, right? So start taking measurements, start taking pictures, start tracking things other than just the number on the scale. And the reason why, just recently, a couple of weeks ago, the scale for me had stayed the same, I believe it was, from one week to the next. But my fat mass had gone down and my lean body mass had gone up. So that's what was creating the wash. So when you lose weight, or whatever you weigh is composed of fat and muscle. And obviously I'm totally cool with my fat mass going down and my muscle mass going up, because when most women describe to me or show me pictures of what they would their body goals, right? Let's be real. We look at other people and are envious sometimes. Man, I like that. I wish I had that. I think that's fine to do as long as you don't get carried away with it. When most women describe or show me what they would ideally like their body to look like, it involves having muscle on it. It just does. So if you are losing weight, but all you're losing is muscle mass, that's probably not what you're trying to accomplish. You're trying to accomplish losing the body fat, and you want the muscle to still be there underneath so that as you lose the fat, the muscle mass is there to see. So I am totally cool with my weight staying the same or maybe even going up, right? Because if my lean body mass, aka muscle, is what's causing it to go up, and my fat mass is coming down and my overall body fat percentage is coming down, then that's a win in my book. Everyone's goals are different. So the next tip number 2, is get real with yourself about what you are eating. So there have literally been studies that have been done showing people under-reporting how many calories a day they think they eat by as many as 1,000. That is a lot, right? So maybe that's a little extreme. Like maybe if you're attempting to lose weight or fat right now, you're probably being somewhat conscientious about what you're eating on a daily basis. So maybe that's extreme. But what if you underreported by 200, 300, 400 calories a day consistently because you weren't tracking accurately enough? That's going to add up over time, and it's going to impact your progress. So I'm not saying that everybody wants to do this at all, or definitely not for like life. No one likes tracking every little thing down to a T, right? Like the things that I see often that you might want to start considering are how many cups of coffee a day do you drink and how much stuff are you putting in that coffee, like creamer? That can add up. For all you moms out there with little children, if you are eating off of their plates, if they don't finish a meal and you're picking off of it, that adds up, especially if it's happening multiple times a day and then you're having a bite of someone's dessert after dinner. Peanut butter, God, that is like a dangerous situation, right? Like when you look at what an actual like teaspoon of peanut butter is, it is tiny. So if you're eyeballing it, I'm not saying you can only have a teaspoon of peanut butter. That's just what I'm throwing out there. But if you're eyeballing it, chances are you are underestimating how much peanut butter you are actually using if you're not measuring it. Same thing with oils, right? So these are things that tend to be very calorie dense. So again, don't have to do this at all or forever. It's totally up to you. But if you are attempting to lose weight or fat right now and you're not seeing the scale move the way that you want it to, then you might want to consider being more diligent about your tracking for the time being until things at least get going in the direction you want them going again. Yeah, that's tip number 2. Tip number 3. If you are using other methods of tracking your progress and you have been diligent about tracking what you are eating, all of the random licks and bites and tastes and everything throughout the day, and it's been a couple of weeks. So don't do this because it's only been 1 week and there was no progress. Give it a few weeks, at least 2, maybe even a little bit longer. If no if no progress is being made of any kind and you're doing number 1 and number 2, then it may be time to drop your calories some to kickstart results again. Because here's the thing, you guys. You can't just set a calorie deficit number at the start of a diet phase and stay eating at that number of calories for the duration of your diet. Realistically, unless you just have like a little bit that you are wanting to lose. But if you have loftier goals, it's going to take a little bit longer. You can't just stay at the same number of calories every single day, because what happens is your metabolism adapts to the number of calories that you're eating. So as you're eating less calories, your metabolism adjusts down. It slows down. It wants to get back to homeostasis, to balance. And so when you first start your weight loss journey, maybe you're at 1,500 calories a day is the deficit that you need to be at to start losing weight. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to stay at 1,500 calories a day for the duration of your diet and continue to lose weight. Your metabolism's going to slow down and you're going to have to keep dropping the number of calories a day that you're eating down lower and lower and lower to continue to see results. Unfortunately, it's just science. It's how it works. So it should be an expectation. It shouldn't be a surprise. And I know that sucks and that's not what anyone wants to do, but it's just how it unfortunately works. So those are my 3 tips for you guys. Which of them do you think that you might need to implement? I'm curious. So drop something in the comments below for me if any of this If any of the tips resonated for you, just comment below and share 1, 2, or 3, which one. Let me know a little bit about what's going on also, because here's the thing, you guys. The better I understand what questions you have, what struggles you have, what hurdles you have, what's going on, the better I'm able to create content and resources for you guys to try to help you out. So like this live right now, for example, came from a comment that someone made under a post earlier this week. So don't be afraid to speak up is the moral of the story. But I am hungry, speaking of food, and so I'm going to go cook me some dinner now. It's going to be taco nachos. So yeah, I'm going to head off and do that, but have a great rest of your night and let me know below what resonated. Bye guys.